Without a doubt, Battle Brothers is one of my all-time favorite games. I poured countless hours into it, though I can't say my results were anywhere near good. But honestly, the more I got my party wiped, the more hooked I became. So, if you're one of those who have played and are still playing what can best be described as a mercenary simulator RPG and you're looking for something new, here are a few alternatives that, in my opinion, come closest to capturing the same spirit. We will take a look at what to play now and what's on the horizon. But before we dive in, a word from the sponsor. Yes, I have a new sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Marvel Strike Force, a dynamic mobile squad RPG where you get to battle with your favorite Marvel heroes and villains like Iron Man, Wolverine, Thanos. I mean, how awesome is that? And the best part, it's completely free. Use the link inside the description or scan this QR code to download the game and start building your team. In Marvel Strike Force, you'll recruit heroes and villains from across the multiverse to take on iconic enemies like Doctor Doom and Apocalypse. What really makes this game stand out is the strategic depth of building your team. It's all about synergy and composition, like pairing up Avengers or X-Men to maximize their abilities. The game modes keep things fresh with new ways to battle constantly being added. You've got your campaigns, blitz and arena, but then there's the Alliance War, which is this massive weekly battle where you team up with your friends. Not to mention raids and Cosmic Crucible where you can go head to head with other players in tournaments. Plus, there are always new characters being released. And this October, Marvel Strike Force is giving away some awesome free characters including Blade and his Night Stalkers. It's the perfect time to dive in and collect some new powerhouses for your roster. And to celebrate Halloween, they've got a special treat for you. Use my promo code below to grab a lot of stuff. Thanks again to Marvel Strike Force for sponsoring this video, and now let's go back to our list. One of the older titles worth checking out is Urtuk: The Desolation, developed by David Calera. This RPG shares a lot of similarities with Battle Brothers, putting you in control of Urtuk as he leads his desperate escape. Along the way, you'll need to recruit new companions and complete quests to survive in this harsh world. The combat system takes place on hexagonal grid maps filled with environmental elements that can either be used to your advantage or turned against you. Beyond gaining experience in battle, your units can learn new abilities by extracting them from defeated enemies or by executing specific maneuvers during fights. Let's move on to Vagrus: The Riven Realms. While it differs slightly in terms of pure combat mechanics, in this RPG from Lost Pilgrim Studio, battles are more linear and feature a classic turn-based system reminiscent of Darkest Dungeon. However, Vagrus excels in other areas. It offers a massive lore-rich world where, as a Vagrus, the leader of a caravan, you'll explore an open world, trade goods, accept quests, and encounter a wide variety of events. Its world building is deeply immersive and the art style is both gorgeous and highly inspired. If you're looking for something to scratch that same itch Battle Brothers does while offering a unique twist, I highly recommend giving Vagrus a shot, either as your next game or even as a perfect lead up to Battle Brothers.
When the sun of Harag burns its last embers,
Released in 2023, Wartales is probably one of the closest games to Battle Brothers in terms of core concept. Even though it's slightly less sandbox focused, developed by Shiro Games, the strategy RPG lets you freely roam the map, but most of the quests tie into the main storyline. That said, you'll still be managing a mercenary band, keeping them fed, alive and thriving. The game features a robust progression system not only for individual mercenaries but for the entire company. As you get a point, you can improve your company's overall capabilities, which adds depth to how you develop your group over time. The combat system is also a standout, tactically rich and highly satisfying, and the graphical style easily one of the best on this list. This is probably one of the best alternatives to Battle Brothers today, offering a slightly more structured but still deeply rewarding mercenary experience. One of my personal favorites is definitely the Iron Oath. This fantasy RPG, developed by Curious Panda Games, may suffer a bit from repetitiveness, but it still delivers some intriguing mechanics. You've got free exploration of the world, dungeon crawling, and a tactical combat system on grid-based maps where you can leverage the environment to your advantage. A unique aspect of this strategy game is the passage of time, which directly impacts your mercenaries. As they age, their performance on the battlefield declines, and if they're not permanently killed before, they will eventually retire. And when it comes to visuals, the Iron Oath truly shines. The pixel art is magnificent in my opinion, with beautifully designed monsters and game elements that really bring the dark, gritty fantasy world to life.
Me.
One of the latest titles to embrace the go where you want, do what you want to survive formula is Gobs and Gods. As you can see from the gameplay footage, the art style feels straight out of South Park, which is a deliberate choice to set the tone of this strategy RPG. It never takes itself too seriously, but manages to offer surprising depth. In the game you play as a kind of deity who descends to the world to guide a group of goblins across the game's map. You embark on quests that often border on the absurd, and the combat takes place on grid-based maps. A standout feature is the ability to switch between real-time and turn-based combat. This flexibility is especially useful when you need to cover long distances to engage enemies or when you are trying to retreat from a tough fight. And let's wrap things up with a game still in early access but making significant strides. Glorious Companions. A few days ago it launched a new demo showcasing its progress. Much like Battle Brothers, it follows a similar structure but adds a twist with 2 factions to choose from and a variety of soldier classes to develop. Glorious Companions is steadily improving, with consistent updates and new content being added to prep for its full release, which is expected around December 2024. And now a brief look at some upcoming titles that could be a perfect follow-up to the path paved by Battle Brothers. Many of these games have been announced only recently, so no release dates are available yet. Add them to your wishlist and patiently wait for updates. The first game to highlight is Sand Nomads. As the name suggests, you lead a group of nomads across the planet Eldo, battling alien creatures and uncovering ancient artifacts. Expect procedurally generated maps and events, permadeath, survival elements, trading and tactical combat on grid-based maps, all wrapped in a visually pleasing art style. Another exciting title in development is Fangs Forges, set in a medieval fantasy world filled with points of interest, cities and plenty of activities. The game boasts an elegant, well-crafted art style, and the characters are represented by cards that engage in battles on hexagonal grid maps. With a wide variety of items and weapons to discover, character progression and factions to interact with, this is another solid title to watch for. While an early access release is planned, no details have been shared about the timing yet.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti.
One strategy game I've been keeping a close eye on in this niche genre is Band of Crusaders. While it's technically a real-time with pause, it shares many of the core mechanics seen in Battle Brothers, but is set in a dark medieval fantasy world steeped in European folklore and biblical demons.
Devours remnants of light.
Demonic forces will slowly overrun the game world, and you, along with your band of crusaders, must survive while also carving out a reputation among the various factions. No release date has been announced yet, but it's definitely one to watch if you enjoy tactical combat in grim settings.
Grant me the courage to one day join those who risk their lives to save this world. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace, so that one day I too may proudly say I am part of the crusade. Because the vermin have inherited the world. Amen.
Lastly, we have the most recent announcement from the developers of Fell Seal. Their new project, Pathbreakers Roaming Blades, is set in a fantasy world but incorporates mercenary simulation mechanics. You'll choose an origin for your company, which influences how you'll grow your band, which factions are more likely to ally with you, and what types of activities will be most profitable. It's shaping up to be a fascinating blend of strategy and role-playing, perfect for fans of mercenary management with a tactical edge, exploration, trading, a robust dungeon system, and grid-based hexagonal combat. There's a lot to look forward to. I'm planning to have a chat with the developers soon to dig into more details, so stay tuned for updates. And with that, I wrap up this video dedicated to all the strategy RPGs that channel the Battle Brothers spirit in one way or another. Let me know what you think about in the comments below, and remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also consider supporting me through all my pages. Wish you the best. Ciao!